Okay, folks, welcome to an impromptu live stream just to go over how we settled out the first hour of trade. What I find interesting is that silver is moving up by about a third of a percentage point, but the AGQ, which we purchased yesterday, is not doing what I would like. And that is moving up. Maybe that's changed. Now it's gone positive. These are all 4-hour charts. You had a news announcement come out this morning. Mike Pompeo warned that there may be a ban on TikTok, the Chinese social media platform, which has become pretty popular. And I'm sure that had an influence on the market, but let's face it, this market is very extended. That being said, it looks as though going by the close of the first hour of trade, I should say, and as you proceed into midday, it appears as though we're going to move up higher on the S&P 500. Again, for those just joining in, these are 4-hour charts. And the Trip Qs, which are by far the market leader, new daily high. And frankly, I'm going to be looking to short the Trip Qs, not for the inevitable crash, but more for a imminent pullback on the shares. And we could talk about that a little bit more. If you just take a look at, let's go to, here's the Trip Qs. That's a weekly chart. Let's go to a daily chart. You can see that we are firmly above the 2 standard deviation Bollinger Band. Yesterday we closed just shy of the 3 standard deviation Bollinger Band. I'm not saying that I'm going to be in there looking to short the Qs today. It may not even be this week. I mean, normally, if you've lived past or lived through bubbles, as I have, going back to, whether it be the dot-com bubble, whether it be the financial crisis, you can have what you believe to be overbought levels become even more overbought, and you look for the market to send you a signal, and then you look to short the name. But the Trip Qs are becoming very, very frothy, and I would be looking to short using SQQQ, which continues to make lower lows. I would not be a buyer here, but soon. And keep in mind that one of the leaders of the Trip Qs, Microsoft, which is up another nearly 1.75% on the day today. Keep this in the back of your mind, is this, and I go over this all the time, but it's worth remembering. RSI quarterly basis, 92.53. Yearly basis, trading above the 3rd standard deviation Bollinger Band for the 4th year in a row. And we have RSI at 93.57. With these observations in mind, do you go shorting right here, right now? No, you'll go broke. I wouldn't go shorting Microsoft right now, but there is going to come a time where you're going to see a big, big sell-off. This is not going to end well. I mean, take a look at the quarterly chart going back to the dot-com bubble, right back here, 1999. That's when it all bust. The October quarter, 1999, Microsoft hit a high of 38.80. found a bottom at $13.02. So again, I wouldn't go shorting here right now, but be very, very careful of getting too complacent in any one position right now, because this will not end well, just as it did not end well back in 1999, 2000. Let's go back to the intraday charts. All right, so Qs looking good. These are 4-hour charts yet again. Nikola, we spoke about this yesterday. This is now becoming interesting. We sold our Nikola position a while ago, and the reason was this. We had the shares trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band. We had RSI at around a 97 handle. It was crazy. Hey, Jedi. Astro traders are expecting, I'm not familiar with them, 8 to 10% downside late July and August. They're not always wrong. I'm open-minded. Is the market on ultra overdrive? You know what? Hey, Oliver. No, to answer your question. I mean, if you go back again to 2000, 1999, 2000, that was just complete and utter insanity. I mean, valuations, do you think they're bad now? It's nothing compared to what they were back then. And we could see a parabolic blow off top here. And that's why I don't want to come on air and showing the quarterly and yearly charts of Microsoft saying that, you know what, we're going to blow. I believe that we are firmly going to blow fairly soon, but it's not today. The fact that we just shrugged off the negative China news tells me that in all probability, we're gonna head up higher. So I'm looking to continue to remain long the market for now. But there will come a time where we swing trade short, then ultimately we get net short and look to take the elevator down on this market. Now, getting back to Nikola, we've seen a big sell-off from where we were. Good stuff. Now this is becoming interesting again. This is a daily chart. Let's go down to a 4-hour. It looks as though we still have some downside to go here, unless, of course, we hold this resistance level, which is currently trading down below at around the $44 per share mark. We're very oversold on an intraday basis. We have RSI in a 4-hour chart at around 17.5. Ideally, we look for these shares down with a 30 handle between $35 and $31 per share. I mean, ultimately, that's where I would be pretty bullish. So we'll see how we close out the day. I don't want to bet that we're going to rebound. We're going to recapture this support level. So we'll keep an eye on it. As a matter of fact, let's take Nikola. I have so many windows open here. Nikola, which I already have some alerts set. Yeah, so I already have an alert set at around 39. Let's set some more alerts. 38.68 to be exact. Here would be, for those folks who like TrendSpotting, looking for a discount, look below. Use the link below, and you'll get a 35% discount code when you use that coupon code. If you're watching this on YouTube or on the website. All right, boom, boom. 4-hour NKLA. This would be a great entry point. So these are the two support levels I'm looking at. 38.68 to around $30 a share. That range. This is my dream price. This is the probable price here at 38.68. Can I take a look at Tesla and Facebook breakout? Yes, I can. This week I haven't been doing swing trading today because I usually take the first week of the third quarter off and I just do poolside. But the weather is not wonderful today and I love getting together with you folks. So here we are. All right, so Tesla, I mean, what can you say? Every short in the world has gotten this stock wrong. If you would have asked me yesterday, would I buy the shares? I would have said no because they were trading above the third standard deviation Bollinger Band on a daily basis, and I would have been wrong. Now, if you ask me the same question again today, would I buy these shares now? No. It's gotten way too ahead of itself. Too much risk, not enough reward. This became extremely speculative. That doesn't mean it's not going up higher. The stock is on autopilot. All my dream triggers down here. Never fired off. I should say dream alerts. Can this go higher? Yeah, I don't want to bet against Tesla. There's a lot of hot money chasing it. But man, I mean, you can't ignore this. Look at where we're at. You know, RSI is at 83.82. It can go higher. Third standard deviation Bollinger Band, we're kissing it. That doesn't mean we can't trade sideways, alleviate that overbought condition, quote unquote, overbought condition on the Bollingers, and then proceed higher. But I could not buy these shares at current volume today. Thus far is on trend to come in above average, which is bullish, assuming that we close higher on the day and don't reverse on the day to close lower. Taking a look at Facebook. Facebook's going higher. I mean, really nice day here. New all-time highs. You may get a retest tomorrow of 245.19. That's an entry point, assuming that the overall market is holding in there and we're not selling off. Beautiful breakout here. I mean, what's not to like? So what I would do is this. You know, Tesla, it's way too far ahead of itself, whereas Facebook is not. There's more upside room here. And here is the support level. I'd be looking for a retest of tomorrow or later in the week. I'm going to add this to our watch list, which is in the members area. So members expect that to be uploaded or updated within the next half hour or so. Test of support. All right, so we're good to go. Again, We've broken out. Assuming we close above this resistance level, we pull back and do a retest, well, then we're going to look to buy the shares. Let's go to a daily chart. There's our alert. Ready to go. Price target at around 270 per share. So about 20 bucks to the upside at a minimum. Square. Really nice day. I mean, I remember talking about this one yesterday, and I warned about this topping tail, and that I think my exact words were, it's going to take a lot to have the shares overcome this wick, shadow, whatever you want to call it. I call it topping tail, cupcakes, ham sandwich with cheese, mayo on one side, mustard on the next. It doesn't matter. The fact that we have overcome it, and it appears as though we are going to move higher here. That's a tell. I mean, this is a very, very strong stock. Very, very strong. Again, but I wouldn't be a buyer here if I was itching, which now I am itching out to take a look at this thing as a potential long. Given the price action versus yesterday, I'd want to see how we are poised to close out the day. The question to me right now is, do we hold these gains or do we fade? We've seen so much of that of late, where we're strong intraday, then all of a sudden, as the hours progress and we near the closing bell, you begin to see sellers move in. You saw it yesterday. You saw it on Thursday of last week. You saw it Wednesday of last week. So it looks great right now. The question is, do we hold it? And if we do, that looks like a very good entry point because we have put in a new daily high. And, you know, I was negative on it yesterday, and I was wrong. The markets told me I'm wrong. Now, I want to go back and take a look at yields because we are long on the bank stocks, and we have seen an update thus far on bonds, which means that yields are under pressure. That means that the banks are under pressure. The however here is look at the fact that the 10-year was unable to hold this breakout. Do we sell off? And our bank traders, let's bring up the FAS, paying attention to this. Wrong symbol. This is the leveraged ETF. They are not. Or maybe they are. We're coming off the lows of the session, but we're still down nearly 2%. So we held our bank stocks. I'm not ready to add more here. We need to see, ideally, a outside reversal bar on the banks and a breakout above resistance. These are the regional banks. They're getting crushed today. Down nearly 6%. Let's go to the XLF. Gap down, struggling to try to come back. FAS is looking better than the XLF, the DPST. So I'm not ready to close out this trade just yet. And if we do begin to see a pullback on bond prices and a rally in yields, we'll be looking to add to the banks. Hey, Naveed. Thoughts on MSI or NXPI? Thanks, great work. Glad it's a cloudy day. I appreciate that. Everado, Boeing. Sure, we can go over Boeing. That's always on our watch list. Okay, let's do it. Let me just take a quick look first at... and before we log off, I want to recap. Facebook going on our watch list, Nikola going on our watch list, And what else is going on our watch list? Square. But again, we want to see how they close the day, right? It doesn't matter where we trade intraday. What matters is where we close. Look at gold ripping. We have been bullish on gold since Q4 2015. And we are now at 8-year highs. Incredible. We're along of the gold miners, which are also ripping today. And it appears as though they're going higher. We may be buying more today. But again, as with anything, we don't want to get lured into a false sense of security. We're heading into lunchtime now. You need to trade one of two parts of the day, either the first hour or the final hour. Everything else in between, it's amateur hour. So the miners looking good, gold looking good, silver looking good. There's nothing not to like here. Fellow member Trish is long of Amazon, and she booked half profits on her call option trade yesterday, and she saved half, and a wise lady she is, because she's doing very, very well today with Amazon, which apparently she predicted and I guessed would continue higher, has in fact gone higher. It looks as though it is going to continue going higher, up over a third of a percentage point, looking good here. Congrats to Trish on that trade. Nat gas ripping again. It looks as though we're going higher. Vol is threatening to break down here. As long as we stay above 25, though, this is still a very, very dangerous market. And there's our alert. I also want to know if we break out, because that means that stocks are probably in a free fall. So I'm not saying this is going to fire off today, either one of these alerts, but let's stay cognizant of the fact that we are in troubled waters with even the trip Qs, very, very frothy. And the headline risk, whether it be domestic or international, is rising dramatically, and I would pay very, very close attention to the South China Sea and to more talks of tariffs and trade wars. And after the election, if in fact President Trump is reelected, I think that you are going to see China become front and center, the whipping boy for this economy, and that's not going to bode well for stocks. But I digress. More to come on future commentaries. All right, let's take a look at Boeing. Boeing, I have my alerts set here. They have not fired off. This is a weekly view. And not much happening today or this week, except for a bearish reversal bar, but we're holding support. Daily chart. You can see I have my alerts set down here. I may not get it. So we're looking either for a breakout here or a breakdown on Boeing. If we break this lower band of support, we'll retest 179.35 and possibly go down to 173.60. If that fails, we're going a lot lower. We're going to see the 150s on Boeing. But that's a bold call right now. I'm not predicting that that's where we're going to go. But if we get there, I'm certainly going to want to be a buyer. We booked profits. We were long of Boeing, but we booked profits at 204. Yeah, I just went over Facebook a while ago. It looks as though, yeah, Facebook should probably continue to move up higher. We may get a pullback and a retest of the breakout point. If you scroll back on the video, you'll see my commentary on it. I even set up an alert for it. In fact, here it is. If we retest, let's call it 244.65, that would be a good entry point with a stop loss right below. Good risk reward entry point. And if I could ask you folks to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, it really helps me out. I'd really appreciate that. What else do we have out there? We already did Tesla, Facebook, Ethereum. TrendSpider changed up their Ethereum. Ethereum goes by another acronym too, doesn't it? I don't even know if I'm spelling it right. I'm not. All right. ETHE. There we go. Weak and getting weaker. One of my alerts just fired off. Facebook. How did that happen? What the heck is going on with Facebook? I'm not sure where that fired off, but Facebook is still looking very, very good. All right. So ETHE, be careful. A break below 78, you're going a lot lower. I wouldn't short it here, but if you buy it, you're betting you're going to hold $78 per share. Yeah, Oliver, I'm not. If he's predicting a pullback in gold and crypto, is he saying that there's a correlation? Because there's really no correlation. I mean, it's really been debunked. I don't know this gentleman you're speaking of. So here's Ethereum relative to gold. It's not picking up. All right, let's do this. Here's the correlation. GLD above. And you can see that, the correlation is about as inverse as you could possibly get. At one point in time back here, correlations change, right? But through March, April, they were very correlated, but that correlation has since broken down. If you take a look at it on a monthly basis, there's not enough data there. But let's bring up correlation. To gold, or the GLD above. And you can see that there's barely a correlation. Although I will say that Bitcoin is looking better in terms of price action on a monthly basis than Ethereum. It looks like we're getting ready to run here on Bitcoin. Nice reversal bar so far on the month. Obviously, the month is not over, but it looks like we're going to head higher. And with that, folks, I'm going to say everybody have a great remainder of your trading day, and I will talk to you soon. Be well.